last night was the big Met Gala in New York. And I'm just going to say, not for nothing, I have gone to this thing a couple of times. When I went to this thing, it was A-listers everywhere. It was all of Hollywood's most favored darlings. Now it's like a bunch of social media, online influencers and the Kardashians. Truly. And like some singers who I'd know. But the Hollywood A-lister game is pretty much over at the Met Gala. And so are you, Anna Wintour, because you're a bitch and no one likes you. Anyway, they host this thing. It costs $75,000 a person to attend. The celebs get invited and it gets, comped. They don't pay. They're the lure to get the nerds to pay 75 grand to go sit next to them. And it's the most out of touch event you could ask for in New York. Honestly, it was absolutely painful. Every time Doug and I went to one of these things, we wound up talking like to the accountant who financed the party and could talk to us about New York City waterworks. Like we just, you try to talk to these celebs and it's just too painful. There's just nothing to connect to, absolute vapidity. So that's what is happening on the inside there. And I've told the audience before about how all these models were smoking in the women's room. Guys were blowing cocaine in the men's room. Very classy. Well, it's gotten no classier because last night what we had was a parade of nudity. They're nudists. It was like they forgot their clothes. The theme was the Garden of Time, something related to Sleeping Beauty. And I guess they went all the way back to the Garden of Eden because I'll just show you a couple. Rita Ora, Doja Cat, and of course, Emily Ratajkowski. I don't know how you pronounce her. She never wears her clothing. Emily's whole thing is, let me show you how naked I can be. I mean, this is actually pretty clothed up for her, but it's all see-through. And what my first thought on the nudity, Buck, I'm interested in your feelings on this. I know most red-blooded American men approve of nudity, but you also care about our culture. My feeling is, if I wanted extra attention and I wanted to just come out on this show one day naked, I could get a bunch of clicks, Buck. I could get a bunch of clicks. I'm still capable of getting some clicks, but I don't do that because I have some dignity. And I would really prefer that while my looks are important to me, people know me first and foremost for my mind. There is a whole section of America now that does not have that value. And these women, like that Emily, I think she's an actress or a model, okay. Doja Cat is a very successful, interesting singer. Rita Ora is an accomplished actress. So what's happening? Because it seems to me they've seen Kanye West's wife, Rita, or whatever, Bianca Censori. And instead of saying, where are her clothes? Why is she just wearing a sofa cushion? They decided to follow suit.
Oh, there's so much going on here. I will say this is the first time I've ever been tapped as celebrity nudity expert. Gotta say, I think I'll do okay.
You're a man. You got this.
I mean, I'm a guy. I got a pretty wife and I like pretty ladies. So I'd say this first off on just like the Met Gala, I should tell everybody, full disclosure, I feel the way about galas the same way that I do about going to movie theaters, which is that I go once every 2 years to remind myself that I don't want to go again. And it lasts at least a year or two. Like I don't like sitting next to people that I don't choose to sit next to. I don't like being at a place.
We sat with Harvey Weinstein one year, Buck. Harvey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we do another podcast where I get to ask you questions about that?
I got thoughts.
I'm very curious what he's like. Anyway, so I'm not a gala person in general. My advice to everybody for weddings is make it shorter, make it easier on your guests, stop being a bridezilla, et cetera, et cetera. So okay, that's my feeling about galas. So I'm not the guy who would, if I had $1 billion, I wouldn't pay 75 grand to go to the Met Gala because I don't care. But I would say about the celebrity component of it and the nudity aspect of it, this is a little bit of what the social media race to the bottom creates. People, I think, and I really mean this, I think that women in society, in America particularly, I can't speak about what it's like elsewhere. I assume it's pretty similar in Western Europe and other places. They are valued more on appearance than they've ever been. And also there's more value to their appearance, as in it's immediate and monetizable in a way that wasn't even really possible a while ago. And so I think that there's a fixation on the dopamine hits that people get from the attention and the clicks. And that overrides whatever internal self-esteem, whatever sense of dignity a person may have, a woman may have in this case. It gets completely shouted down, in their processes, in their thinking about this, by, I know this is going to get a lot of attention, I'm going to get a lot of clicks, and if I don't do it, my competitors are doing it, right? If I'm not in the public eye, you can kind of tell like who really wants to be in the public eye, because they'll appear in the Daily Mail like so and so, like on their fishing trip. Paparazzi isn't really a thing anymore.
J-Lo,
okay?
hi, we're looking at you. She's the queen of it. Oh, I just happened to get caught on my yacht in this perfectly posed position. My love affair is real.
Who is it? I didn't hear
J-Lo,
you.
J-Lo.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can tell who sets up, like this person just caught going to get coffee. It's like, you actually weren't, because your publicist called them and you want to be seen and you want this to be.
There she is. And she would show up to the opening of an envelope. She would never miss a chance to be on camera. The only people, those pictures of those celebrities are real when they're very fat and old, and they're like, this celebrity looking amazing on her way to Starbucks, which is the Daily Mail's way of just getting the photo on and not being called mean.
If anyone thought I wasn't a Kristi Noem fan, let me tell you, I think that Jennifer Lopez is the most overrated celebrity across the board, probably in my lifetime. Like, she is not a good actress. She is not a good singer. She is, from what I can tell, not a very nice person. From what I read, I don't know. I've never met her. But in terms of her work is overwhelmingly trash. Her songs are terrible. Her movies, she can't act her way out of her paper bag. And she's famous because she was a Latin star at a time when you go back and look, you can see there was an explosion of interest in sort of like Latin celebrities around the J-Lo era.
And Selena had died.
Yeah.
Remember, Selena was killed.
Selena had good songs. But yes, Selena had been killed, I think, by her manager, right? It's a horrible story.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Jennifer Lopez is the most overrated, like, actress, musician, probably since I've been alive. And then I would just say on the social media and the getting naked thing, I do wish that there was a little bit more of a voice. Like, I think that there are people who could weigh in on this that would be listened to, who could say, hey ladies, like, we really don't need to do that. But they don't want the heat from the people that are going to say, this is how it is. Like, the degradation of the culture becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy, because the people who benefit from it keep doing it. Other people feel like they have to compete with them. And the people who still maintain their dignity and have a voice are like, I just want to have a peaceful, happy life. And I don't want the lunatics all in my mentions or sending me emails, or worse, death threats or whatever it may be. So I hope that changes. I think that's true in sports too, by the way.
It is one thing to go out and do a saucy picture. This Emily Ratajkowski is incredibly gorgeous. And I'm sure there's a reason people pay to look at her. But to just really put your ass on display in public at one of like the season's events, of the year, where you're supposed to be making a legitimate fashion statement. And your statement is, look at my naked ass. Look at my naked boobs. It's
like
just
an
degrading.
Arms race. It's like an arms race, but a butts race. You know what I mean? Like, if one of them is showing a little bit of the booty and the other one is showing a little more of the boob, and this is kind of what ends up happening. And
then leave it to the Kardashians to always take it next level. I cannot stand their influence on American culture. I cannot. So Kim Kardashian, who again denies that she's had any work done, it's a lie.
Of course. That's like Liver King saying he didn't take steroids, kind of a lie. But anyway, keep going.
Sure, her waist here has got, hopefully we can get a more clear picture of it, because it is like it's like this. You could get your hands around it. Two hands could go around the waist. She must have like 3 corsets on. She had a famous corset on a couple years ago where she admitted she took breathing classes and how to wear it. And once again, she goes out and creates this image like, oh, it's just me. I just dieted. I don't believe it. I mean, she looks like she's had a rib removed. I swear, something's gone wrong. And she's always looking for the next level of attention. That is not a healthy image to be projecting to American girls. She doesn't give a shit. She's riding these pictures and her, quote, image all the way to the bank. So She was there. Her sister with like the Madonna breasts, like the pointy bra. That was the younger billionaire one. Kylie. The mom was there, and that's perfect for what this event has become.
Their currency is attention, and they'll do anything for it. Unfortunately, it's been incredibly lucrative for them. But I know we're like running short on time, but I live in Miami, and I'm a pretty traditional guy, but you're on the forefront of some of these very negative trends for women down here. I didn't even know what a Brazilian butt lift was until I moved here. I mean that seriously. And now
I will see Real Housewives.
You will see. Yeah, I do not watch Real Housewives. I will see women, and it's the same. They have the Kardashian, super tiny waist, and I have friends here in the fitness industry. They're just buddies of mine, and they'll talk about. And I know guys who are also surgeons, like plastic surgeons. They'll talk about how they've done procedures there, and then they've made these enormous derrieres, sometimes even sort of putting an implant under the muscle. It's a dangerous surgery. It actually has a pretty high complication risk. And there's something very obtuse about the aesthetics involved in this. Like, why do you have to create a fake artificial butt? I think that I didn't know I was going to be talking about this today, by the way, but also it's
always a surprise here on the MK Show.
The tattoos and the plastic surgery are also for women are out of control. I'm just going to say it's out of control.
It is.
Aesthetics are about moderation at some level. It's about, what's within bounds. And it's gotten, they've got little tiny tattoos everywhere. They've got so much done. They're trying to convince all these women to start doing Botox at like 22 now. I'm sure you've heard about this.
And get cut too.
Preventative, but all this stuff. I'm like, what, ladies? Same with guys. Just be normal. I mean, look at Ben Affleck. Guys are doing this too. I don't want to make just about women. They look like freaks. They are paying tens of thousands of dollars to look like freaks. Why?
Ben Affleck showed up at the Tom Brady roast the other night, and I don't know what he did to his face. There was speculation he either had a facelift or he got heavily Botoxed or he got filler. I don't know, but I really prefer my men to be men. And I want to be the pretty one. I don't want my man to be the pretty one getting as many procedures as I'm getting. And I really don't want him to be in a dress. And yet, Buck, that leads me to the men last night. Look at this. Are these men? What are these? Okay, I'm going to show you. On the left, we have Jordan Roth. Okay, he was in this full-length flower gown. I don't know who that is. Is that Jordan Roth? I'm looking at a different picture in my packet. Look at this. These
is that a nun?
Are men. I don't even know who these people are. But look at this. Looks like a bride. Okay, look at this guy. Full-length flower gown. What happened to the men, Buck? Where are they?
Well, society elevates anti-masculinity. I mean, that's part our society does, pop culture does, and there's a really in-depth conversation that is ongoing, and I think very much worth having about why that is. I think that masculinity is inherently a challenge to centralized government and totalitarian control, which I think that the leftist ideology in this country absolutely wants to achieve. So strong men stand in the way of their ability to just make us all, cows that are fed and maintained, and we're safe and warm and don't ask any questions, to borrow from Solzhenitsyn. And I think that we're seeing that this is something that people are ideologically pushing, even though it doesn't sell. I mean, everyone can see this. Like, you make Top Gun, you make a kick-ass movie about, being a badass and doing great things and the heroes and everything else. You make a ton of money. They don't want to do that. They want to do this.
No.
They want to have guys.
No one wants to see this.
They want to guys
and no
like
woman
Mrs.
wants to be
Doubtfire.
taken to bed by these guys either. A recent survey found that 7 in 10 parents get an average of 3 hours of sleep a night in their baby's first year. Wow. Moms, you deserve quality sleep. And here's a solution: Cozy Earth. Discover the secret to better sleep with Cozy Earth's luxurious bedding products and get an exclusive Mother's Day offer just for you. Use the code Megyn, MEGYN, for 35% off at CozyEarth.com. Cozy Earth bedding products are crafted with temperature-regulating technology, adapting to your body's needs through all phases of motherhood. Worried about commitment? Enjoy a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty on all purchases. Built to last through the hardest days and longest nights of motherhood, this Mother's Day, treat mom to the luxury she deserves with Cozy Earth bedding and sleepwear, and prioritize self-care and sleep health. head on over to CozyEarth.com. Use the promo code Megyn for 35% off. And after placing your order, select podcast in the survey and select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. Thank you so much for doing that. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.